Okay, it's 10 o'clock now. Good morning. My name is John Jacobs. I am part of the team that works at the Virginia Career Works offices, and I primarily work out of Harrisonburg. I've taken this training through Catherine Troutman 2 years ago and found out why I wasn't getting at least interviews or contacted by USA Jobs and those agencies that are there. So what I'm going to tell you is going to be quick, but I believe I can boil it down to help you. If you live in the Winchester area, this morning there's within 35 miles of Winchester, I believe it's 150 federal jobs that are out there. So let's go ahead and get started. And again, you can reach out to either Bonnie or myself, and I can go over some of this further. I can add, send you some of the slides and so forth so you can have that to look over. Sorry, got ahead of myself. One of the things that they want to, that's important for you to think about is all the roles that you fill. I've had people ask me, oh my gosh, what haven't you done? Well, I've been an EMT, I've been a firefighter, I've been on school boards, I've been on zoning hearing boards, I've been in the military, I've been out of the military, and you need to keep track of all the things that you've done and write that down. It doesn't matter if your experience comes from being the membership secretary for a volunteer fire company, or you're the person that handles the finances at your local church. If you're dealing with money and that's what they're after, that's what you put down. Why go into the federal government? The positions are normally stable. You get to serve the public interest. There's opportunities for you to move, including travel around the world. The permanent change of station, oftentimes that's paid for. There's training opportunities. And again, the federal government is almost always hiring. So these are some of the steps. We're not going to go through all these because we don't have that time, but we'll go through some of these that are important. Networking, it's still valuable if you know somebody that works at a federal agency to get an inside view of what's going on. Keywords, we're going to touch on that. The federal resume is different than a regular job resume. Your skills, knowledge, skills, and accomplishments are important to put up, and then we'll continue on. Federal government, these are the amount of people that they hired in the past several years. Write down the things, again, what hats do you wear? All of us wear different hats. Even the financing that you do at the house and organizing matters in any of these jobs. So you want to make sure you think outside the box. So you're not a carpenter that builds stuff for your job, but you do that type of work around your house and so forth. That still matters. Or you volunteer for Habitat for Humanity. That matters. So just keep that in mind. You're an assistant coach, or you lead other groups where you get up and speak. All those items make a difference when you're applying for a federal job. So just don't sell yourself short, but think about the various ways that you serve your family, the local organizations in your community, and how that can help you get a job like this. Some of the key words we're gonna touch on. So when you're looking at a job for positions in USA Jobs, you want to look at keywords that makes a difference. Administrative specialists, scheduled office travel, oversaw management of official communication, staff advisor, all these different things. Can you think of an accomplishment that you're proud of? Describe it in 3 sentences. So what you're looking for is what the event was, how you achieved it, the actions that you took, then the results. You want to set yourself apart from the competition. You want to boost your rating, and you want to gain confidence, because this can be a very much an opportunity for you to gain accomplishments and say, wow, I've accomplished a number of things. I learned when I was in Alaska and I was climbing up a mountain, if all you did was look at the peak, it never felt like you were getting close, and you would be so tired. But when you sometimes stop and look behind, you can say, wow, you know, it didn't seem like I was going that far, but when I look back, I can see that I've gained altitude and we're making headway. So keep that in mind. And just because you don't have maybe the knowledge, skills, and ability today, you can look at these jobs postings and say, these are the skills that I need, and intentionally go and figure out how to get those, even at your current position. So the format's a lot different than what you're going to use for a regular civilian resume or a standard business resume. Most resumes today, they're going to tell you don't go over 2 pages. Well, a federal resume can be as long as 10 pages, and you'll see once we show you some of these ideas. So some of what you're going to look for is keywords when you're looking at the job description. So communicate in written and oral form. You want to make sure, if you've done that, to have that in your resume. Deliver outstanding customer service. If that's what you're a job that you're applying for, you want to be able to do that. And this is the format that we would like you to put it in. Under no circumstances should you upload your current resume. There's a resume builder in USA Jobs. You should build your resume in USA Jobs. You can have up to 5 resumes in there. We'll probably touch on that again. How does HR determine your qualification? Well, the experience, quality of experience directly related to the job or general nature of work, complexity of assignments, decision-making, authority of span of control, education, and training. In the federal resume, they're going to ask you how many hours a week did you work. If they're looking for 2 years of experience, most folks work 2,080 hours in a year. So they're going to ask you how many hours a week did you work. And if you were in that job for 3 years, that means you have over 6,000 hours of experience. If they're only asking for 2, you meet by that. Some of the jobs you can apply for, you qualify if you have certain levels of education, and you don't have to have as much experience. So those are other areas to keep in mind. Based on education, I just touched on this. So if the job starts out at a GS4 and you have 2 years or above high school, you can just apply because you have that 2-year degree. A GS5 based on a bachelor's degree, master's degree up to a GS9. So you could apply for a job even though theoretically you're not completely skilled in it. You can still apply for it just because you have a master's degree. What I would say is that doesn't mean you're going to get an interview or get the job. It just means that you can apply to it. It just depends on the pool of applicants that they have. So those are things that you have to keep in mind. Accepted service. Some agencies do not use USA Jobs, the Federal Reserve, CIA. So in the Winchester area, the northern Shenandoah Valley, there are a lot of federal jobs and a lot of federal agencies that come out to Front Royal in that area because property's less expensive. Even in Front Royal, there's a facility that belongs to the Smithsonian Institute that does work there. So you just keep that in mind. And these other agencies do not advertise on USA Jobs. So if you're interested in one of these, especially like the US Department of State, they have jobs worldwide, and you'd be working for the federal government. If you are a college student or you want to travel, this is a great way for you to do that. It's a competitive hiring process. Submit your resume and documents, all the documents. There's a self-assessment questionnaire. If you believe that you're highly qualified for the position, when you answer those questions, do not be humble. You need to beat your chest. And if you feel that you're the subject matter expert, you need to answer that as the subject matter expert with the highest ranking. Because if you don't and you choose one of the lower questions, most likely you will self-identify and it'll take you out of the run. You want to make sure you have the minimum qualifications. When it goes through there, they're going to rate and rank the applicants. If you're a veteran, there are veterans preferences, and then they'll put you in that ranking order. And you can monitor this on your account with USA Jobs. Networking. Again, what you want to do is if you know somebody that works at the agency, you can talk to them about what it's like to work for the agency, if they know anything about the particular position that you're interested in, and ask them to put in a good word for you. So this still applies to federal jobs. The importance of networking. This is a survey, how survey participants first learned of their federal job, friend or relative. Second, USA Jobs, and then other agency websites. And so that's pretty amazing if you really think about the significance of networking and how it still is applicable to obtaining a federal position. Again, questions to ask your network. Who do you know? Can they hire you now? Can they help you? How did you get a start? These are some of the questions that you can ask that person. And maybe it's a friend of a friend. And so to be able to make that connection, doing nothing will not get you there. So you have to take a risk and reach out and find individuals and sell yourself. Don't be shy. If you're going to attend a job fair or career expo, it's not uncommon right now with COVID-19, correct, where everything's being done virtually. However, it's still significant that if you're going to do a Zoom event, job fairs and career expos are interviews. You need to dress for the part because you can't undo the first invitation or the first meeting that you have with a group. So when you go to a job fair or career expo, even if it's virtual, you don't want to look like you just crawled out of bed and you're in your pajamas. That doesn't bode well for the hiring managers. And so whatever's on the video, you want to make sure that what they're seeing is professional because it makes a difference. Be convincing, be friendly, speak clearly. Focus your resume towards a couple jobs, not all of them. Don't be too generic. Those are some of the mistakes that I made early on in my search and applying to things on the federal resume. I thought people would be interested in all the stuff that I've done, and what I've come to realize, nobody cares what John has done. What they want to know is, can John help them and their organization be successful? So that's what you have to be able to do, is tell them how you're going to help make that organization successful and that you're not going to bring drama to the workplace. So when I do searches, normally what I do is I'll put in the zip code. So I live in the middle part of the valley, so I'll probably, I normally put in 801 Harrisonburg and do a search. I don't do searches by keyword because I want to see what all the jobs are in the area, and I want to look through each one of them. So that's how I do it. Once you get in and start using USA Jobs, you can figure that out. In the Winchester area, if you put in Winchester and go out to a 50 to a 60-mile radius around there, you're going to be finding jobs in Martinsburg, West by God, Virginia, and all the way into DC, and there's hundreds of them. So once you get a feel of what you're looking for and so forth, then you can trim that down and change your search process so you get the jobs that you're looking for. Um, if you're a veteran, what I would encourage you to do is contact the veteran rep in Winchester, Harrisonburg. Ashley Moslak is the veterans rep in Winchester. Chris Walker is the vet rep in Harrisonburg. Or you can reach back out to Bonnie or myself, Jay Jacobs at vcwvalley.com, and we'll be able to put you in touch with those folks. Announcement, follow directions carefully. Some of them have closing dates, or they say once we've received 50 or 100 applications. All right. It also talks about who may apply, duties, qualifications, knowledge, skills, and ability, and keywords. Find a match. Look for those key words: management of fiscal resources, community recreation, sports, fitness, and aquatics. When you see these words, these need to be in your resume, and they need to be all caps, all caps. In the questionnaire, there's places where you can find additional keywords. You need to look for everything and then sell yourself. This is the question. Here's what I'm saying is, if you're going to apply for the job, when they ask you the questions, I do, like if you see the first one, I do have experience or demonstrated capability in performing this activity, but I am willing to learn. That is going to get you screened out. If you feel that you can do the job, you need to go down here and mark E, preferably D if you still don't feel well. Vacancy announcements. Again, this is key. In USA Jobs, they do not use software to look for words. There's an individual that's going to spend 45 seconds to a minute and a half looking, and that's why you want to put your keywords in your resume in all caps so they can find those things. That's why you want to use the job announcement to do the keywords in all caps in the resume that you build in USA Jobs. Where to find them: the keywords, duties, specialized experience, required knowledge, skills, and abilities, and the questionnaires. 5 to 7 more is better. Right, so these are some of the keywords. I know I'm going fast, down and dirty. This is the questionnaire. You want to go in here and look at these things. Some of the applications, you can go in and actually look at these, not all. Core competencies. Resourcefulness, innovative, team leadership, customer service, all those skills. Where can you find the core competencies? In these locations right here. Analyze, right? Help, work, teammates. Add them to your resume. Identify key accomplishments in the stories. All right, so I'm switching to a different slide deck. Let me go back because I think that's the end. Sorry. I know this is fast. All right, so this is what I was telling you: private industry versus federal resume. Typically 1 to 2 pages, okay? Federal resume, 3 to 5. I think mine's 8. It doesn't matter. What they're looking for is that you meet the requirements and that you can go ahead and do this. So again, these things are, the slides will make sure that if you want them, we can get them to you. What to include in your resume. For the most part, when you build it in the USA Jobs, you'll just go in and fill in the blanks. Now there's a section where you can put a narrative area, and what you want to be is make it so it's easy for somebody to scan and see the keywords that they're asking for in the job announcement. All right. The outline for a federal resume is easy to be read by HR specialists. Use small paragraphs for readability. All caps for keywords, right? All caps. Add accomplishment. Volunteer and nonprofit experience can be used. This is huge, and you can do that as a position that you've held. I volunteered for a number of organizations, and I put those in there as a position, even though they might overlap other employment and so forth. I'm an election official currently. I can add that. So these are the areas where you need to be creative. My wife's a nurse. One of our friends, their daughter has childhood cancer. When she pulls out her NG tube, my wife, they'll call her up and she'll come over and put it in and do some other things for them as a volunteer. She puts that in on her federal resume. This is what it used to look like, right? Block style. There's a lot of stuff in there. It's hard to read. This is what we're talking about. So the keywords would be supply and logistics systems implementation. See how they did this? The operational management and technical supply guidance. So you want to be able to make it so it stands out, and they can literally scroll down there within seconds and say, yep, well, we want to look at this resume further. Again, and these people are real people. They actually did apply, take the training, and get jobs. So you can see where this is, how this is filled in. Administrative program planning, oral and written communication, document preparation and review. You want to highlight it, and then it goes in here and compose memos. It tells the story. You can have up to 5 resumes. So what you don't want to do is one resume does not fit all. And again, I used to do this, apply for all these jobs with the same damn resume, and I didn't get called. I didn't get nothing. I got nothing. So what you want to be able to do is tailor your resume, and you should do this regardless of whether you're applying for a federal job or private industry. You should tailor your resume for that particular job. And that's just the best way to do it. And again, do not upload your resume into USA Jobs. Use the resume builder. Knowledge, skills, and abilities. Context, challenge, action, result. And so this is how you want to tell your stories, right? What was the context? Well, I was deployed in Afghanistan. What was the challenge? We were being shot at. What was my actions? Well, I convinced people that this is how we ought to do X, Y, and Z. What was the result? We ended up with a lot more people. We saved money, we saved lives, those types of things. Knowledge, skills, and ability, context, challenge, action, results. Right? Reviewed specifications and statement of work, okay, accomplishments, and then it tells the story. And you can get these out of the questionnaires. I have supervised performance of this task, or I am normally the person who is consulted by other workers to assist them in doing the task because of my expertise. That's the one you want to pick. Right? You don't want to receive this. So this is the thing, and oftentimes what you just don't get anything, nothing moves. And so what you want to do, again, is sell yourself. Cover letters. Cover letters are optional oftentimes, but check with the announcement. If they want a cover letter, you need to give them a cover letter. This is an area where you can highlight things that you might not have told them. Compelling reasons why you're the best candidate. Show passion and interest in the mission. Why hire me? That's the question that you want to answer. Why hire you? Well, that was a lot quicker than what I thought it was going to be, but I believe we're still on time. I still have a couple minutes. I don't know if you want to ask any questions. Again, jacobs@vcwvalley.com is a way that you can reach out to me. The key takeaway that I would always put into this is do not upload your resume, build it. If they're asking for documents, you have to have it. So if you have an account in USA Jobs, you should make sure that you have, if you have college, make sure your college transcripts are uploaded, and always add that to the application. If you're prior service military or military and you have a DD-214, you should have that uploaded. If you have licenses, my wife's an RN. So they not only want her transcripts, but they want her nursing license from Virginia. If it's a nursing or anything that requires you to have CPR, you probably should have that card scanned in so you can upload it. All those items, if they ask you for a form that you're not sure of, you can look it up on the internet and fill the form out, upload it into your federal resume. Because if your application is not complete, it will not be looked at. If you upload your civilian resume, your application will not be looked at. Or if it is, it'll just go into the pile of don't go any further. These are areas that are significant for you to consider when you're applying for a federal job. It's one of the best, it's not a secret, it's one of the best positions that you can get because they continue to hire. They pay well. There's a retirement program. The federal government is one of the largest employers in the United States, so they get lower rates on insurance, dental, vision, all those things that most civilian employers that are small struggle with doing. All the federal holidays that you can take off. There's just many benefits. At this point, I'll stop. I don't know if there might be any questions. You can probably text or send a message through LinkedIn. But that's all I have at this point.
How'd it go?
Yeah, I think it went okay. Yeah,
How many did you have?
probably it was just that one.
Are you serious?
Yeah, but she's our, I'm assuming, whatever. It sent me an email already asking for the slide deck, so
Is it a lady?
I have no idea.
Okay. Well,
But
thank you for doing.
yeah, well, and look over the video.